Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone's having a great day, great week. It is Friday. That quick. This time is flying by so fast. Unbelievable. Anyway, this video is going to be a response to my question of the week 33. I made a question of the week video, but it was a question from my follower. My follower by the name Irena. If you haven't seen this video, I will post this as a response to that video. As usual, you guys could check it out, make a response, comment, whatever you want to do. It's never too late. So I'm going to read this again, and then I'm going to go ahead and go line from line and then just kind of explain what I normally do. All right. So here we go. So question of week number 33. How do you learn new words and phrases? We learn a lot of new words at Norwegian classes, but most of them fade away from my head almost in a second. If I don't use them and if I practice the language, I can't just say to people, let's talk about economics in Norway, example. So that I can repeat the words I know. So that's Irena. So this is the key question, a very common question. Everyone wants to know how you learn new words, mainly new words, okay? So I'm going to start with that. How do you learn new words and phrases? So for me, first of all, I love to learn words through a context, okay? The only exceptional time I will learn a word individually is if it's a word I don't know. I say, oh, I wonder how I say such and such word. And I just grab a dictionary and look it up. Other than that, I'm always going through a context, learning vocabulary that way, looking for relevant words. Okay, so for example, I use Teach Yourself, Colloquial Asimil, any course that has dialogues. I have this course here, Burmese for Beginners. I'm just going to show you an example here. I'll just flip to, I don't know, a random chapter here. Let's go to 8, because that's where I am now. Let's see here. Go to 8. Where's 8? Where's 8? Okay, where are you? All right. So, chapter 8. There's one conversation here. All right. As you can see, conversation. You have your dialogue there, and it continues on to the other page. So I'll read this out for you. So we have what? How are you doing, Ma Sain? I'm not well. What's the matter? My throat hurts. Do you have a temperature? Yes, I have a fever. Oh, that's not good. Have you taken any medicine? No, I haven't taken anything yet. Please take some medicine and rest. Okay, I'll do that. See you later. So that's a simple context, okay? Normally, when I go through these dialogues, I like to listen to them over and over and over again. And I've talked about this in some previous videos. I like to do that and read out loud to practice pronunciation, accent, etc. And naturally, by doing that, I will naturally pick up the vocabulary, all of the vocabulary. It doesn't matter if they're relevant or irrelevant. Those vocabulary will be stuck in my head. I will know all of them due to listening and reading that so many times. The relevant vocabulary, what I would normally do is take it all out and make up my own sentences and use it, find different active ways of using it. I'll go to a chat room, I'll make up my own sentences, I post, I like to use the social media sites such as Facebook, either Facebook blogs or some sort of forum, and post up different texts using vocabulary that I feel that the vocabulary I feel is relevant. Okay, so I try to find active ways of using those vocabulary. As far as the irrelevant vocabulary, like let's say in this, I will say medicine. I mentioned something about medicine here and temperature. Do you have a temperature? Blah blah blah. I may not use that right away, but I will know it passively. And I think it's like this for pretty much all of us in our native language. We know more passive words than active words. Mean English. I will read something and I will know a lot of the vocabulary, but I would never use it. Same thing with the foreign language, okay? That vocabulary will stay in the passive state until I get ready to use it, all right? If it's dealing with, for example, if it's dealing with science, you know, science, or I don't know, any type of subject. If you don't talk about that, if that's not your passion, you're not going to have that in an active. It's not going to be active vocabulary for you. So I just let it stay in the passive state until that day comes when I start to use it. So yeah, so that's how I learn my words. I learn through a context, and then for the relevant words, I take those, make them on sentences, and use them, and I find different active ways of using them. Okay, and then phrases again. I use a phrase book if it's something you don't know. I mean, if it's if you don't know how to ask someone how old they are or if they're married, then you just refer to a phrase book. That simple. Okay, so I think I covered that, everything there. You said we learn a lot of new words at Norwegian classes, but most of them fade away from my head almost in a second if I don't use them. And that's what I just mentioned not too long ago. You have to find you have to find active ways of using those vocabulary so they can stick. And if I can't just say to people, let's talk about economics. You know, economics, not everyone is interested in economics, so you can't just walk up to people, or even if you're having a random conversation, you can't just bring up economics unless they have passion for it. I mean, if that's your passion, I guess you could in some way ask a native, how do you feel about economics, and start up that way. And if they say they don't have passion, if they say like they don't know, or that's not something they're interested in, then you can't have a conversation. So I guess if that is your passion, you may want to find people who are interested in economics. Find a forum and post on there and see, ask someone who has an interest in economics. I would like to practice my language with you if you're familiar with this topic, and just get it started that way. Other than that, that's pretty simple. It's common sense. I mean, uh, if you're not going to use the words, they're going to just be passive and just focus on the words you're going to use. For me, language learning, languages, video games, fishing, those are my passion. So when I talk with someone, I will know the necessary vocabulary for those different topics. I will be able to retain them easily because the topic is always coming up. So that's simple. I mean, that's normally what I do. And yeah, for those of you who haven't seen this question, yeah, give Edana some advice. How would you go about learning vocabulary, and how you go about making them active? So that wraps everything up. That is it. And again, I'm gonna post this video as a response to this question of the week, and you guys check it out. And yeah, feel free to comment, make a video response, and to help out our buddy Elena here. And yeah, thanks for viewing, and look forward to any comments.